did a good job.
You did a great job.
All right.
All right. No, we're ready. Let me know when we on. Go ahead. Okay. Welcome to Famaus The Podcast. I got two very special guests. I met them a couple of days ago. I'm excited for you guys to hear all the things they got going on. So at this time, we'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and what they got going on. Y'all on? Go ahead.
So I'm Eric Holmes. I am founder, CEO of Inspyard. This right here is
Miss Annalise Jade. I am the co-owner and co-founder of Inspyard.
Awesome. So I guess the first question I would ask, what is your definition, your own words of fashion?
I'll let you lead with this one.
So my definition of fashion is culture. Fashion can be many things. Let me say that. So it's culture. It's your own unique feel. Fashion doesn't have to be just what you wear. It can be your personality, a part of your character. Fashion is unique. Fashion is different. Fashion is not necessarily designer, because I believe in you can go to the dollar store, thrift shops, vintage shops, find something beautiful, amazing, ladies, gorgeous, and turn it into something. My mother always taught me you can go to Family Dollar and buy something out of there and make it look like $1 million. So that's what I believe fashion is.
I'll piggyback off that. So I believe, fashion to me has a lot to do with, it's more of a personality.
Yeah, I can see that too.
It has a lot to do with the character of somebody. It's not always about high-end clothes and anything like that. I think it's more of like how you wear it.
Yes.
Persona. I like to think I'm a fashionable type of guy every now and then. But I mean, to me, man, fashion just means, honestly, it just means personality, man. It tells a lot about culture and, you know.
And for the record, I've seen you guys. You guys are very fashionable.
Yeah.
I like y'all statement y'all present through your fashion. So basically what we're saying, fashion is not just clothes or a hat or shoes, but it could be a lifestyle.
Right, it is a lifestyle.
Cool. So in saying that, kind of tell us what the vision and tell us about your business, what you got. You guys got a lot of cool stuff that I'm excited about.
Okay.
So I don't want to spill the beans. I'm going to let y'all tell the world yourself what y'all got going on.
All right, so Inspyard started off from just an idea of doing something that you love, that you want to do long term. So the idea came from just being around the cigar culture.
Okay.
And Inspyard, the name itself just came from, everybody has something in common of why they do what they do, because they've been inspired by something or someone.
Right.
So what I wanted to do was put something together that has the same meaning of inspired, but also it shows up in a different form. So inspired, the way it's spelled, is INSPYARD.
Wow,
So
nice.
just because it's spelled different doesn't mean that it's a different type of inspiration, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
So it means the same. It means the same, just spelled different.
Right.
But Inspyard is going to be a cigar lounge and restaurant
Awesome.
that we're bringing to the Middle Georgia area. But it's actually more than that. So we're including in podcasts, we're including in merchandise. Also, we're going to be bringing a lot of value, giving back to the communities, helping out homeless. Like it's so much plans, man.
It's wonderful.
It is crazy.
In this area in particular, we need that because so often, Middle Georgia in particular, I feel like we've been overlooked. You know,
Right.
You got Atlanta got stuff popping,
Right.
Savannah, even Augusta.
Right.
But Old Macon, Middle Georgia, Warner Robins area, we often get overlooked. But really, if you do your research, we spend the most dollars in Georgia, most.
Right.
Because we travel to go to Atlanta, we travel to go to Savannah, or we go to Augusta for concerts and events and outings and facilities. And me, I'm a cigar smoker, so I used to go all the way to Atlanta
Right.
to
Right.
Fellowship. That's a sports cigars lounge.
Yeah.
I think the football player Cam Newton owns that. And so now I don't have to go that far because you guys go over something right here in Middle Georgia.
Yep.
So
Right.
that's really
It's coming.
cool. You got anything you want to elaborate on that?
So I'll piggyback off of Eric. So Inspyard, like you said, it's going to be fine dining. I guess that's where I come in about the fine dining. I wanted to give Warner Robins, especially because that's my hometown, and Macon a feel of fine dining. We've had so many other fine dining restaurants that unfortunately did not last. So to be black owned and to be bringing a different type of culture of fine dining. So we'll have some Jamaican food. We'll have, for my vegans, we'll have some vegan food. For my pescatarians, we'll have a very, very nice seafood, surf and turf menu. We'll have all explicit types of wine, exotic wines. We'll have German wines for some of the people that are not from Georgia that enjoy exotic foods and exotic things. The goal is to not have the same chef all the time. We will have some guest chefs that we will allow into our kitchen to cook an amazing and special meal, maybe like duck or something different that we're not used to here. It's all about exposure for Eric and I. When we collaborated, we didn't know each other that well. I met him at my part-time job. I think he didn't take me serious until he saw that I think the next day that we met up, he was like, dang, this girl is really serious. Like, I started looking for buildings. I started looking for places for us to go. I started putting them on with SBA grants so we could get money and get it funded. So the goal is to bring it to Warner Robins. We will definitely be bringing it to Warner Robins. It will be based in Warner Robins. And the reason for doing that is because Warner Robins does not have any Black-owned businesses, but a few. It's a very few of us. Really? And so we want to give some different type of culture and class and exposure. I think it's very important. Like Eric said, we will be giving back to the community. We did that in 2020. We did bless someone with a box of food for Thanksgiving, I think it was. Yeah. Her home unfortunately burned down, and we were able to come together and put a meal together so she could put food on her table for Thanksgiving. But the best is yet to come. That is not where it's going to stop. Of course, we want to be able this year or next year, hopefully, to give back to our community and maybe do some book bags for the kids and things like that as they prepare to go back to school this year. So there is much more in store with Inspyard. I'm going to stop talking because I can talk. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Eric and Famous here, go on with it.
So this is what we are, a podcast. So you can talk freely. So wine, let's talk wine.
Absolutely.
Right. So off air, I was telling you guys, I got a wife. Shout out to my wife, Delise. She loves wine.
Okay.
So when we go out, she says her famous line is, I like sweet wine.
Right.
But since I'm not educated on wine, like you guys, I have to lead to the waitress or the waiters to give her a recommendation. Okay. So I want to step my game up. Can you guys help me? Absolutely. What is a good red wine that maybe got a little sweet taste to it?
All right. So to kind of get things a little started. So, all right. I got into wine years ago. Okay. But I really got into it when I was trying to create awareness for Inspyard. Okay. So I just need ideas like, how can I bring awareness to a business, especially a small business that nobody know about? Yes, sir. Because the idea is really trying to reach everybody organically. Okay. So start this show called Inspyard Wine Talk. Okay. And the idea, like I said, was just to try to bring some type of awareness. Yes. Now, when I started it, I wasn't thinking it's going to be as big as it gotten. Right. Because I've only been doing it, the show-wise, it's only been 6 months. Wow. So when I got into the wines and started talking about where they come from, alcohol content, what to pair with, temperature to have it in, stuff like that. Right. I started getting emails, phone calls, all type of stuff from like people all around, and it's wild, man. So I know a good bit about your different reds, your whites. I mean, a lot of wines that a lot of people haven't heard of or been around, I introduced those type wines. So it is available. The wine shows is available on YouTube. It's called Inspyard Wine Talk. We are 2 seasons in. So they're about 12 to 13 shows a piece for each season. And it talks about different red, different whites. It's just a lot, man. It's a lot.
So I got to re-educate myself. I got to catch up on my seasons.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm going to put aside The Wire, whatever. I'm going to start watching Inspyard, catch up on my episodes.
Okay.
All right.
So when I go to the restaurant, I'm going to look cool. So instead of the waitress or the waiter ordering wine for my wife, I'm going to be able to say, I can do it.
That's right.
And I probably get some cool points.
Yes, you probably will.
Because it's rough sleep on the couch sometimes.
Yeah. And it's not just like teaching about the wines, though. It's also teaching you like what type of wine glass to use for it.
Really?
The way how you swirl the wine to get your aromas out. So it's a lot, man.
So because I was told that different wines go with different meals like steaks or whatever.
Correct.
And also I had an old school guy tell me this. He said you shouldn't put rocks or ice inside your wine.
No, it dilutes the wine. There are some people that does it, but I haven't seen anybody do it with any. I don't really want to call it upper echelon wines, but it's more like I seen a lot of people do it with like the base wines, what I like to call like a Stella Rosa or like a
Kroger wines.
yeah, but you can find some, but you could actually find some really good stuff in Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people know that, so they think that most of the wines I show is a lot of high end, which you actually could find most of them or some of them. I'm not gonna say most of them, but some of them in a Kroger or Publix or
Walmart.
Yeah, or Walmart.
My 3 stores. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
So
if you want to, like if you just want your wine cold, you can still chill the glass, but you want a slight chill. You don't want to like, some people will put the glass in the freezer and almost freeze glass. You don't want it that cold. Yeah, you don't want it that cold, but you can like put a little chill to it if you just want it cold, you know, like that. Or like how Eric has the wine cooler, the freezer, the refrigerator, and you can refrigerate it at a certain temperature and put it in your glass and drink it. But wine is not typically meant to be on rocks.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I see a lot of people, and I don't know if they do it because they cool, but when they get the wine, they like shake it a little bit.
It's a swirl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the purpose of all that?
All right, so one is it gets the aromas out.
Okay.
A lot of wines they call a ready wine, which is wines you can drink right away. There's some wines you need to let sit and let it aerate out some. So that way you'll get more of the
Flavor and the taste.
Yeah, the quality of the wine itself. And then some wines you need to age. So a lot of people buy wines and open it right away. Some of them need to be aged, and some of them you have to age at least 5 years, some 10 years, depending on the type of wine. So it's a lot when it comes to it, man. But most of the shows I've done the wine on, a lot of them are wines that you probably need to age, but I was doing it for the show purposes to give people that knowledge and that awareness based on that.
We appreciate the knowledge. So I know, like, with anything with liquors or wines, so what would be the most expensive? Because I ain't trying to throw shade at my wife, but I got a high-end, high-maintenance wife.
Okay.
She like nice. I do too. I ain't
There's
like
nothing wrong with being high maintenance.
There's nothing wrong with that because I like that
Yes,
too.
I love it.
So like our anniversary, I want to get the best wine I could possibly get.
Well, I would tell you, all right, so just because some wines are very expensive don't mean it's the best wine. So a lot of people don't understand that. If you buy a $100 wine, it's going to taste better than a $20 wine. There are a lot of $20 wines that taste a whole lot better than a $100 wine.
Okay.
But as far as a good wine that's not pricey, I would say that you could do like a Camus, which is you could do a Cabernet and a Camus. There's this wine called Stag's Leap. You can do that.
Stag's Leap is great. I love that one.
And my personal favorite, which is hard to find, hit me up if you need to. But it's Chateau Montelena. That's my number one. Chateau Montelena. Mm-hmm.
I might hit you about that one. I'm surprised with that one.
So yeah, it's
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
I like that. Yeah, so a lot of things that even with foods, a lot of things that we don't know about because we don't have education on about it,
right.
Or we just haven't experienced it. Whether it be where you grew up from or whatever. I was fortunate to be in the military, so I've been to a lot of different countries. I've seen stuff, but I was still a Middle Georgia guy. And I wasn't I was up on my liquors and beer.
Right.
I must confess, not wine. And I noticed like the older I get more indulged in cigars and wine.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of cigar, tell me about the cigar spot y'all from. That's what I'm excited about.
So we're gonna have pretty much we're gonna try to get at least. This is a hard question, man, because it's like I want to have at least 50 to 80 different types of cigars. That's what I want to have. Yeah. And it's so many out there.
It is so many.
And I'm still kind of new to the cigar world. Like I've been doing it for a couple of years, but my personal favorite is a Tabac. Okay. I like more of a sweet filtered wine. Cigar.
Me too.
And I could do some of the mild and the heavy bowls, stuff like that. But I'm more into the sweeter
Same here.
cigars.
I like sweet. I don't like mild. I don't like a strong pull. I like something simple. Most ladies like something sweet. Like you said, we plan to have a humidor, a walk-in humidor.
Awesome.
That's going to hopefully go from one wall to the next, and we'll have hopefully every vendor we can possibly get behind it to sell. And of course, we also have so many local cigar vendors that we absolutely want their items in our humidor as well to sell.
Cool.
It's all about supporting.
It is.
I don't want anybody to think that Inspyard is something that is just me and Eric. No, we want to support all entrepreneurs. So we'll have some paraphernalia showcase with our shirts, which I'm wearing one of them.
Awesome.
Ladies, if you like the V-necks, then of course we'll have those. Eric's wearing another one. I think we have about 20 or 30 different shirts that he has designed, and we're just waiting to start getting them printed. I'll go on to say this now. If you want an Inspired shirt, we do have our black and gold shirts. They are $20 a piece. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and order your shirts, and we'll get you one. And we go from small to 2X. Am I right? 2X, 3X.
Yeah, and if we need bigger size, we'll get
just
them.
Just let us know.
And no pun intended. But however, what we go do is I'm gonna bless 2 people, male and female, with T-shirts. So I'm gonna give them after the show, and I'm gonna purchase 2 T-shirts. And however they want to do it, they go bless somebody with T-shirts.
Nice. Oh,
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, most definitely. We family. So with the cigars, I recently introduced my wife to cigars. She was hating on, get that smoke. So I started out smoking not the mild, but the dark cigars. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest, when I started researching what cigar Michael Jordan smoked and what cigar Jay-Z smoked. Mm-hmm. Cohibas, Criscos, and they're traditional cigars. They're great cigars. Right. But then I discovered about acid, Cubas. Mm-hmm. They're sweet taste and they got sweet aroma too. And so she was poured in with that. She's like, I want to try that.
Those more like your entry cigars too. Like somebody that just started, you want to start with like a Tatiana or like
Tatiana. She loved those as well.
Cool. Yeah. So you have those. So anybody that's trying to get started with it, you can do
I like
Della Sol, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet. It's not too sweet. It's not too mild. Yeah. But it's my go-to. And then I have my friend just put me on my father's. I do like those. And then there are a few other ones that there's a Dominican hand-rolled one. I can't think of the name of it, but it's actually imported. Another friend gave me one of those on Sunday, actually, and I really, really liked it. And then I like Big Bottom Betty.
Yeah.
So all of Big Bottom Betties, and that's something I definitely want to put in Inspyard. Big Bottom Betties are like the best cigars ever in life. I don't care what anybody says. Whether you like the torpedo ones or whether you like the cone-shaped ones, they have a good flavor. The pullback is not too strong, and I really enjoy it. I like a V-cut with one of those. Yes, I like my V-cut.
So that's my favorite too, the Fat Bottom Betties. And the reason I like it because even with the acid Cubas, it start off with a sweet, then it get mild after that. But the Betties,
Betties are.
About your whole burn.
Yeah. You getting some. Yeah, the Fat Bottom Betties are better.
And I was kind of skeptical because they had got the skull.
The skull and all that.
The name I like. There's a guy, he was the owner in Atlanta of a cigar shop. He was like, I'm telling you, if you like those, you like these.
Yep.
Oh, man.
They are a great
so when I tried it, I be buying boxes of them. Almost 200.
And they sell out. Because I went to AG.
That's why I bought boxes.
I went to AG Cigar and he had like none. He was like, I can't keep them in. He was like, I ordered 30 boxes of these things and they're gone the next day. So yeah.
So if you guys listen, don't get thrown off by the name of something. Right. Just try them. Like when I really first started, I used to get variety packs just to try to see what because everybody, it's like food. Some people like mild. Some people like the real darker cigars. Some people like the fruit. My wife like the fruit ones.
Right.
I just like the mild, smooth ones, and then with a nice drink. So if you guys had to pair up a wine with a cigar, what combination would you recommend? This for my purpose, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's a hard one. It's hard because I haven't really experienced too much about comparing cigars and wines together. Right. Because I mentioned one thing. I'm in this wine group as well, and I mentioned a cigar with a wine, and the guy's like, "Nah, man, that's the wrong thing." I'm like, "Well, it felt like it went good together." So I mean,
I guess it's a personal preference.
Yeah. I said, if I'm doing my sweet cigars, like I'm probably drinking like a Stag's Leap or or a Camus or it's a lot, man. It's a lot of wines, man.
Cool. I mean, yeah, it's so broad, so you can't really limit it. I agree with that. So, and all the great things you guys got going on, I'm gonna ask you guys individually, what you guys see, you guys' business, y'all, all the stuff y'all got involved 5 years from now.
So,
What would you like to see?
so honestly, going into this, like we're playing the long game with it, man.
Yeah.
So, in 5 years, I would hope that it brings a lot of value.
Yes, I think
Outside of that, though, that we are accomplishing the mission, which is the giving back stuff.
yes.
Also, helping people get jobs. It's more like doing all the micro stuff for the macro stuff.
Yes.
So it's just long term, just still in business, obviously,
Right.
but making sure that we're doing exactly what we said we was going to do. Versus where a lot of businesses that start saying they're going to do one thing, it doesn't turn out to be that.
Nice.
So we want to make sure that we stay solid, man.
What about you?
So for me, I'll say in 5 years, like you said, please, Lord, let us be in business still. Bringing more jobs to the Middle Georgia area, because that's detrimental and it is needed. But I think for me, I really hope that Eric and I will be able to branch off. Of course, we'll have Inspyard, but I would like to see us open a bistro. We did say that was something that was optional, and that we wanted to do, is have a smaller restaurant, maybe a bistro, sandwich bistro, for our older crowd that might want to have a more relaxed, chilled environment to go to. We want to cater to all people, not just our age range, but maybe it's a cafe to where some of the college students in the local area can come
Nice.
and gather and
Yes.
kind of have their own little kickback, chill out.
Yeah.
But coffee and cigars is something that we did talk about, brunch before lunch. So I would like to see a second Inspyard open, maybe here in Macon.
Or Savannah.
Or Savannah, yeah. Hey, I love
Or
Savannah.
Savannah.
And that's where
Yeah.
Bring
Eric's
him back
from.
home.
Yeah, so
That's where he's from?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
where
love
he's
Savannah.
from. So yeah, I would hope to do that in 5 years. That's where I want to see Inspyard.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then one thing I learned that even on smoking cigars or drinking wine or even attending some of you guys' event, when you feel good, you look good, it just bring a whole atmosphere around your city.
Absolutely.
It's like the event we all was at, it was a great atmosphere.
Right.
Everybody socializing,
Yeah,
networking.
it was a beautiful thing. Yeah, networking,
everybody
getting to know people.
dressed real nice, and everybody felt special.
Yeah.
Your attitude changed, and so I would like to see more of what you guys trying to offer in Middle Georgia,
Right.
because we've been hit hard with the crime and the
Absolutely.
pandemic and the politics thing. So we want to set all stuff aside and just enjoy ourselves.
Yep.
Nice cigar, nice glass of wine, some great food,
Right.
great music.
Band.
Kids are at home and the grown folks we got
Out.
no
Chilling in
disrespect
a
to the kids, but
but chilling in a peaceful environment.
peaceful
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if somebody wanted to say, okay, we want to book you guys to come to like our private party and set up your cigars or your wines, would y'all do that or just
Absolutely.
Yeah, because also we had ideas of like doing Wine Talk Live, which is like doing an actual wine event.
That'd be nice.
So
wine tasting event.
yeah, wine tasting event. So we got a lot of stuff planned, man. So that's why I think like it's the way how we're doing things is gonna be a little different than most cigar lounges. Because also outside of just promoting wines and just the Inspyard name itself, we do a lot of content on social media.
Okay.
Like we're on seven different social media platforms, and everybody knows they see us a lot because they see my face a lot. Like you talking probably average maybe 20 pieces of content a day on each social media platform. So you're talking about like 100 per day, man. It's a lot.
That's great.
But yeah, so it's not just that. It's and then the content also is about like it's pretty much trying to help that one person that need help, trying to find their way,
Yeah.
understanding that it's not about you have to figure out your life now.
Absolutely.
Just go out and I always say go out and taste things. So if something doesn't work, just keep going until you find something you love and stick with it.
Okay.
So about your question about being able to rent out our space, yes, we will cater to private parties such as bridal showers,
Yes.
bachelorette parties, ladies,
Okay.
bachelor's parties. If you want to do a little gentleman's kickback, you and the fellas, my Kappas, my Alphas, my Omegas. Yeah, of course, you can absolutely come out and enjoy some time. My Deltas, my AKAs, my Zetas.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to rent out the space, then of course we'll have some set prices for that, and we can go from there. We'll cater it. We'll get you decorated. We'll get you set for your day, so you have to do absolutely nothing. But yeah, that is something that we're definitely gonna do.
That sounds amazing. So this is my disclaimer to the people who are listening or watching. We gotta go out and support our businesses, especially our people business.
Absolutely.
They are doing this for the community. They keep saying they go bless the community, so we gotta support these people. Please do, please do. So many things that so many people always say, Middle Georgia ain't got nothing. We gotta go to Atlanta. We gotta go to Savannah.
Right.
Well, now y'all hearing it straight from them.
We
Nice
got
stuff
you.
coming up. Just support them. They got us. You know, you see, I'm smiling because I'm excited because I'm a cigarette smoker. I'm a wine drinker, and I love just being around other people who just having a great time. Great time, great time. But I do gotta ask this. My mom is old school.
Okay.
She's back in her heydays. She drank wine, but she said she used to drink wine and eat cheese. What's the deal with the wine and cheese thing? That's some old school or?
No.
All right. So.
I'll let him go.
All right. So, from what I learned is that the wine and cheese really doesn't really go together,
Okay.
but it's just kind of been part of that culture from what I learned.
Okay.
But I recently went to Chateau Alon, which they give you the whole charcuterie board with the cheese and you know, the crackers, all that kind of stuff. So it went fine. It went perfectly fine together. So I mean, if that's what people into, then we just stick with that culture.
I think you have to have a taste for it, and
Yeah.
it depends on what kind of wine you have. Because I do cheese wine and strawberries.
Wow.
And it's different, but it depends on what kind. I actually don't do it with a red wine like they say you're supposed to do. I do it with a white,
Interesting.
and it's interesting. It
Okay.
has it has a unique taste to it. It depends on what kind of cheese. I mean, you can't do just sharp or cheddar cheese. Yeah, you
No,
can't
you
do
gotta
that.
do
Nah.
You got to do like a Gouda or something smoked in order to bring it all together.
It's cheese I can't even pronounce the name of.
Yeah, it's some cheeses out there. If you've ever been to Germany, there's all kinds of cheeses and breads and all kinds of things. I stay away from bread. But yeah, I think that you can pair them. It just depends on what you pair them with and what your taste is. Like he said, it's got to be your own, niche. But yeah.
Okay, so they got me. As soon as I leave here, I'm gonna go get some wine,
And
some
some cheese and a
cheese,
strawberry.
and a strawberry.
Yeah.
And but see,
Try them.
that's why I'm glad that we did this because I know a little bit more now, and I'm on top of my game, so I can
You can impress the wife.
impress my wife.
Yes, that's
I know
what
I sleep
matters
on
so
the
much.
couch.
That's
you know,
right. Don't nobody want you to sleep
all
on
the
the
good
couch.
stuff.
Yeah.
But now I really appreciate you guys. You guys want to send out any social media plugs so people can know?
So-
I know you popular and everything.
Yeah, so like you can follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What else is out there? LinkedIn, Twitter.
Look at that.
What else?
We on everything.
Everything.
Just type
Sus-
in Inspyard.
subscribe to the YouTube though.
Yes, and please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Like I said, DM either of us. My name is Annalise Jade. He is Eric Holmes. DM either of us your sizes for your shirts, and we'll get you one. If we have to mail them out, we'll mail them to you free of charge. But yes, please follow us.
And new show on the way too. It's called Wine Your Business, so don't miss that.
Why you busy?
Wine your
ladies,
business.
Ladies, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do a wine talk of our own with me, your girl Annalise, as your host. So we're definitely
It's on the
gonna
way.
get some things to go. That's the third season of Wine Talk. Let's get it.
Let's
go.
Y'all. Let's get it. So just let you guys know, as Famous the Podcast, we will keep you guys informed about everything they got going on because I'm excited. And we want to make sure, they got a lot of platforms, but they got one added to them now. They got Famous the Podcast.
Yep.
We're going to
Absolutely.
support them
Thank
in
you.
everything they do, and we're going to make sure the world know. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to Famous the Podcast. God bless you and have a great day.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
Cool.
Cool.